Hello, good afternoon, everyone. We are in the midst of the month of Adar, the first month of Adar. Friday we're having Purim Katan, it's called. That's the Purim that's in the first month of Adar, even though it's not the same celebration as the second month of Adar. As we know, there's a whole argument to the Talmud that a year like this year, do we do the first month of Adar, the second month of Adar? But the halacha is that we do the second month of Adar. This is when Purim is, but still we do some kind of a celebration the first month of Adar, and this is this Friday. So therefore we're definitely having very happy moments today. And Friday is Purim Katan, and Shabbat will be the 15th day of the first month of Adar. So it's called Shushan Purim, as we all know. So therefore we definitely have to have a beautiful, happy, exciting weekend. So let's just share one small word, one idea what to live with this Shabbos, besides the idea of living at the middle month of Adar, besides the idea of living with Purim Katan and Shushan Purim Katan. That is itself is a lot to learn about and a lot to talk about. Just one line of this Parsha. And right in the beginning of this Parsha, we're learning about the idea of with Tisa. Tisa literally means we want to take census, and the parsha begins that everybody should give the half a shekel kofer nafsho. There is but a very deep and beautiful lesson given by the Rebbe Rashab, the fifth Rebbe of Chabad, and being repeated by his son, the previous Rebbe, and being repeated after by the Rebbe. A very, very beautiful and important lesson, and a deeper layer that we'll learn from these few words and the Parsha, the words of Ki Tisa. And let's just do it very brief and short, just to be able to live with that. And he says like this: Ki Tisa means take census, but Ki Tisa has another meaning. Tisa means from the word naso. Naso means being elevated, uplifted. Ki tisa et bnei Israel. Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, when you want to uplift the Jews, Am Israel have to be uplifted. Am Israel have to be raising up to higher and higher levels. And who is the duty of doing that? This is the duty of Moshe Rabbeinu. When God tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Ki tisa et bnei Israel, when you want to uplift Am Israel to reach him in higher, greater levels. And Moshe Rabbeinu, as Hashem gives him the message, when you will uplift the Jews, and it's being explained. How does Moshe Rabbeinu uplift the Jews? Is by enhancing their faith and belief and the devotion to God. And this is the duty of Moshe Rabbeinu, that he brings the devotion to God into the Jews. He brings the faith of God into the Jews. This is Moshe Rabbeinu's duty. And this is what God tells him: Ki tisa et bnei Israel. By you giving them that strength and that devotion to God, you will be uplifting the Jews. And then he continues, Lifkudayem. Lifkudayem has many meanings. But Lifkudayem has also a meaning, as we learn by the story with son of King Saul and King David, a famous story. V'nifkadeta ki paked mashavecha. Or the translation there is, Nifkadeta means you'll be missing. Ki paked mashavecha, because your seat will be empty. So Lifkudayem comes also from the root of emptiness. And this is what the deeper meaning of what Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu, you are the leader of the Jews, and your mission is to uplift the Jews, to bring them to higher and greater levels. Tisa, lift them up. And then when you lift up the Jews, then is Lifkudayem. Then they become empty. Empty of what? Empty of their transgressions, empty of the sins, and so on and so forth. And this is what Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu. This he gives them the message after the story of the golden calf. When Jews unfortunately failed, unfortunately they did the transgression of idol worshipping, as we're learning in this week's Parsha. Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, you know how we make Jews being empty of their transgressions? How do we make Jews being cleaner from the negativity, clean of bad, is you, Moshe Rabbeinu, know what you got to do. Ki Tisa b'nei Israel. Lift him up. Bring him up to higher levels. Bring him up to greater levels. Moshe Rabbeinu's got the power. And this is the message that Hashem gives to Moshe Rabbeinu in every generation. That the leader of every generation, his duty is to lift up Am Yisrael, to bring Am Yisrael to greater levels, a level of devotion, a level of Mesirut Nefesh, a level of self-sacrifice to God. When Jews are brought up to that level through the leader of the generation, through the Moshe Rabbeinu, then Lifkudayim, then we become empty of negativity, empty of bad, empty of sorrow, only full of joy, full of simcha, full of greatness, the greatness, as we spoke this Shabbos, the greatness of the Simcha of Purim. Through our leader, through Moshe Rabbeinu, through our leader in our generation, he's lifting us up, and he will bring us to emptiness of negativity and full of positivity, full of joy. Have yourself all a good Shabbos.